one of the questions I always get from clients that when we're working with new builds is, should I really? Why do you say I should get a home inspection? Like, is that really needed? And I have to tell you, I have yet
To have a
get
perfect home
one
inspection.
new construction with like nothing on it, and I've some big things. So we had some ACs that weren't working.
Mm-hmm.
We had a pool, not a pool. I'm sorry, a tub leak. So it was a
Where they had to drill back. Remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
So that one, it was a model home, and they were buying the model home. So it was actually a few years old, but the tub like had never been used.
Mhm.
And then they filled it up, and it started leaking through the back. But I mean, I've had holes and ceilings. Like
Let us not forget about the roof. The amount of damage that
Well, and
can.
that can just come from like a tool. That's
Oh,
being
that was
dropped. I mean,
exact-
It's almost always damage to the roof. Not necessarily the integrity of the roof, but that always comes up on an.
I have had home inspection reports on new construction where I have had to go to the builder and say, no, like this, yes, there's where the integrity of the roof had been compromised during the process because of storms, windstorms, and they're not going up there. Once they throw the roof on that bad boy, they're not going to have it looked at
And
again.
it really is. There's a lot of importance in an unbiased third party
Mhm.
that's doing the inspection. The quality control people that they do walk the homes for the builder, they work
For the builder.
Yeah, and then you're always going to have more negotiation room prior to closing. Once it gets put on that ticket, I mean, there are some things that have to go on that ticket, and you have that 1 year, full warranty on the home. But sometimes, depending on the builder, it can be like sludge trying to get those things.
But I've noticed that builders are making it more difficult for you to have
Yes.
an inspection, and that's been my experience with the past two new construction, two different builders. They require like advance note, like you have
Away advance.
Oh, you've
way
yes.
advance that you're gonna have, and then they need the name of the
In writing,
inspector.
all of that.
They need a copy of their liability.
Their
insurance.
liability insurance is a big thing.
And so if you don't have that, they won't let that inspector in. And that almost happened to me. They actually went to the model home, and they were not going to let him on the property.
But you read the contract.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing, like those contracts they're 30, 50, 100 pages long, some of them. And if you don't have representation and don't know that, I need to look through that, you could have missed that.
And a lot of times our buyers are tired by the time we get to this portion of it because they're waiting around, they're fighting the construction process. And if you are navigating it alone as someone who isn't an industry professional, and you've got a pregnant wife, you've got toddlers, and the builder says, sorry, we won't let you do an inspection, how much pushback are they really going to do if they have the knowledge to say, no, I absolutely am having this done? How often do they just say, okay, never mind, it's fine, whatever?
And I just went through this. You can actually, and most people think that you can only have an inspection when the home is done. That is not true.
There's
you can
different-
actually have
yeah.
an inspection like before the drywall goes up. But again, the builder's going to make it difficult for you to come and do
Absolutely.
that.
And our inspection company
Super
offers
inspectors.
that.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
so most
I think
people
it's like a 4-part. It's like pre-construct,
Pre-drywall.
pre-drywall.
is the stage that I'm
Yeah.
at. And you know what? When we obviously there were mistakes structurally when we did that walkthrough. We took pictures mainly because like you kind of want to know where the wires are, right? When you go to put up a TV or you want to know where the studs are. So we did take a lot of pictures, but the builder was not going to let us have an inspector. We needed 12 days, but we didn't even have 12 days. And when they gave us the date, and so we're like, so we just took a lot of pictures, and we will have obviously an inspection before we close. And then some people choose to do it a year later before their warranty expires.
I actually think you should do both, truthfully, because
Agree.
once you are in the home and things start operating, sometimes things start to arise, and there's kind of like two different things to look at. Another fun little tip that I did this years ago for an out-of-state buyer, where they do the builder walkthroughs or home inspections, and if my buyer isn't able to attend it, I recorded the whole thing for them, put it on YouTube on a private channel, sent them the link, and I've heard people say they go back in and watch it all the time. Like when there was the freeze, they didn't know where the water shutoff valve was. They watched the video.
Yep.
So whether it's a home inspection or the builder's walkthrough, take pictures, record, take notes, because sometimes it's overwhelming, and years from now you forget, or even like, how do I change the air filter?
Yeah.
I get that sometimes from buyers.
Oh, for sure. We have clients that we worked with for many years with their family, excuse me, on multiple occasions. And then I just moved their college roommate here. And he reached out to me recently because he was getting ready for his 1-year punch walk. And he was like, Bree, I can't remember the home inspection company we used. And I remember you had mentioned, and I said he's not my client, the active client anymore, but I set it all up for him. I was like, here's the number. I'll go ahead and call for you. And he was like, no. And I'm like, no, seriously, I'll call for you. Like, it's really easy. I work with them all the time. Don't worry about it. This is something I can take off your plate. And he brought that punch list again to the builder, and he was like, initial inspection. I resent the initial inspection. I arranged the rest, and it was seamless for him. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that.